Hello there, Kathy Brennan here, helping you to look better, feel better, and do better. Well, I have a YouTube channel, so if you subscribe with the button down here, you'll be able to it'll show up in your feed when I have new videos out. And if you turn the notifications on, then you'll be notified. So you can decide what level of interest you have here. But I hope you enjoy my YouTubes and subscribe to the channel. So today I'm going to talk about choices. Sometimes things happen and we feel like we don't even have a choice in the matter. Let's say you're stuck in a job. You feel like, oh, I don't have any choice in the matter. I need this job. It pays the bills. There's nothing I can do about making it better. I'm just stuck in it. I don't really have a choice. Well, we always have choices, and the big part of this is realizing what our choices are and what the consequences are to making them or not. So it's just a matter of looking at what choices we have. Let's say you're stuck in this job. You can do one of three things. You can ignore the fact that you're in a job you don't like. You can say, I think I kind of like it. Or you can give into it, like I just described, and say, there's nothing I can do about it. I'm stuck here. Or you can take some action. So we're going to talk about what your choices are and what happens when you realize that you have choices. First, I want to talk about how I understand this stuck, I don't have any choice place, because I was there for a long time. When I was born, my eyes were crossed. I was very anxious. The anxiety eventually turned into depression, and I struggled with that beast for 35 years. I did not realize I had a choice because first of all, I wasn't diagnosed. Then when I finally was diagnosed, I thought, oh, good, there are choices. And the antidepressants didn't work. So I thought, oh, there's nothing to do here. So I went to some counselors, and the counselors couldn't help. There was nothing to uncover. There was nothing there. They weren't helpful. So then I thought, well, I don't have that choice. And even my faith didn't take my depression away. So I felt out of choice, like there was nothing for me to do. I reasoned in my mind, oh, it's my genetics, or it's my stress level, or it's just who I am. I don't really have a choice. Until I one day, driving home from work, heard about a book called Potatoes, Not Prozac, and it offered the choice of treating depression with nutrition instead of medication. And now I had another choice to make. Was I going to chase this crazy idea, or was I going to shut it down? So I took the choice, changed my life. It took a while, but here I am, 10 years depression-free, feeling great and doing well. So I understand this stuck. I understand this feeling like I don't really have a choice here. There's nothing for me to do. So I want you to think about what it is in your life that isn't working. It doesn't have to be as big as depression, although it can be. It could be even a small thing, like a neighbor who annoys you, or a room you can't get cleaned up, something where you're just stuck and it's not working out and you'd like to make some headway in this area. Well, here are the choices you have and the consequences to them. Everyone has these choices regardless of your situation, because I don't even know what you're thinking, but here's what you have. You can choose how you're going to respond. In the case of depression, I chose the different methods that I knew were there until there weren't anymore. You can choose to respond with anger or frustration or hopefulness. You get to decide how to choose. And the cool thing about this is when you realize that this is your choice, then you can change it if it's not working. So if you decide I'm going to respond by being angry, and you realize this is my choice, eventually you'll realize, okay, what is being angry? What is that accomplishing? And is it solving anything? Because then I can choose either that's working and I'll continue to be angry, or it's not working and I'll stop being angry. So we each get to choose how we respond. We can choose to do nothing, but that's our choice. So if you have a situation, let's say you're real tired during the day and you're real tired at 3 o'clock and you can barely get through your workday, and then you come home and the evening's hard. If you decide to do nothing about that, then just realize that's your choice. It's not going to change because you're deciding to not do anything about that. See how this works? So when you realize this is my choice and I'm figuring out what to do, and now I own the consequences of making this choice. Now, sometime I alluded to this earlier, we can ignore the problem, and that does happen where we, let's say we have a friendship that isn't quite right, and let's say your girlfriend or guy friend, he just always putting you off. He's late. He isn't showing you support when you need it. You can ignore that's happening. You can say, no, it's really all right. You can decide you're just going to live with the friendship that way, or you can choose to not ignore the problem and have a conversation with him or her, even though it might be a little uncomfortable. But in either case, just realize it's your choice. So if you're deciding to do nothing, then nothing changes. And if you decide to do something, yeah, you're going to take the risk of how this is all going to turn out. But at least there's the potential of things being better if it's not working for you. We can choose to give up, like I said before. We can just say, I could have said with my depression, this is who I am, this is how I'm made, this is what I'm going to live with, this is how my life will be. I could have given up on finding any solution. We all have that choice in the most drastic situations and the simplest ones. We always get to choose whether we're going to give up or not. We can choose to hope. Now, hope, I always say hope is not a strategy, but it's real useful. It really helps bring you along. It's like that carrot in front of you. It just keeps bringing you. So let's say you have your house burns down. I'm just making it up on the fly. Let's say your house burned down, and you can lose all hope that anything will ever be as good as what you had in that house. You can choose that. So if you choose that, just realize that that's where you will stay. You can also choose to hope that whatever has happened here is going to turn out. It's just going to turn out. It might take years. I don't know. But I'm going to hope that things are going to be better in the future, even despite that my house just burned down. The last thing we can do is choice we have is to believe that we know everything about the solutions right now. Like with the depression again, I could have decided all the known cures of depression are out there. I've tried it and it just doesn't work. So I can just decide everything is known right now. Or you could choose, I do not know the answer yet, but I believe I can find it. You can step into this space where you realize, I can find an answer. I can uncover an answer. And frankly, with my depression, I was desperate enough that I just kept pushing. I just kept pushing because I was so desperate. This thing was either going to take me out or I was going to battle it till the bitter end and figure out a solution. So this idea of the solutions are there, they're just, I either decide there's no other solution and then I stay there, or I decide I don't know the answer yet and I pursue, I look for it. So we can ignore our problems, we can succumb to them, or we can take an action. And we know that if we don't take an action, things will stay the same. So understanding your choices is so good. That's the greatest first step, that this is my choice. And then taking action on it can change everything. Have a fantastic day. I hope you subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon. Be well.